we booked our flight through Expedia, going to Honolulu from Dallas. And Expedia did a few charges on there. I'm not sure what they are because I thought when we booked through Expedia, that covered our airline tickets and everything. On 5/21, there was a $1,169.40 charge. I don't know what that was for because the airlines, when we got to the airlines to pick our tickets and stuff, they had charged us, both airlines, because we went on Delta going, which was booked through you guys. But when we got there to board the plane, they charged us $1,079.60. And I thought, wait a minute, I thought all that was paid through Expedia because we booked through Expedia. So I was like, okay, so we ended up having to pay that. On United, which was booked, our return flight was booked through Expedia. We ended up having to pay $795, but United bumped us because they overbooked their flight, and we ended up having to wait in the airport for 9 hours before our flight home. And that ended up costing us $909.60, which we had to pay out of pocket, which we had to pay the $795.60 out of pocket the first time, which was also booked through Expedia. And I'm going, okay, if we booked through Expedia, why are we paying the two airlines again? I don't understand that. So there's charges from Expedia. I don't know what they are, and I don't understand it. And I don't understand if Expedia booked the flights for us. I thought Expedia was the one that we paid in order to book the flights and stuff. But then when we get to the airport, we're having to pay all this money out of pocket. Between the two flights, it was one was $1,079.60 and the other one was $1,433.86. So about $2,500. Yeah. I filed a consumer complaint with Expedia because I'm like, what are these other charges? And if we paid Expedia all this money, why are we having to double pay at the airport for those flights? I don't understand that. I've got a breakdown of what Expedia charged. Are you able to look at it and explain to me what these charges are for? Find out what these charges are for through Expedia. Because, like I said, we paid Expedia, but they didn't take care of our flights. We were charged by United and American, and I was thinking, by using Expedia, they would book the flights and we'd pay everything to Expedia, and Expedia in turn would send it to the airlines, pay the airlines, but they didn't. So Expedia took money from us. I don't know what for, and then we ended up having to pay the airlines. Maybe, some of the charges might be, for the excursions, which was fine. So I think Expedia probably covered the excursions. That may be what some of the charges are, which is fine if they'll tell me what the charges are for, because I don't know. I'm looking at monies out of our account paid to Expedia, and I'm going, wait a minute, they didn't do our flights, and here's all these charges. I need to know what these charges are for. I need to know they're legitimate, because I'm having to fight with United Airlines because they put us through hell. My husband ended up in the hospital because of it. So my beef is not really with Expedia, but I do want a breakdown of what these charges are that they charged us for. And then I'm curious as to why we booked our flights and do stuff through Expedia. So I would have thought Expedia would have gotten the monies out of our account and paid the airlines. But what they did is we ended up having to pay all of the airline fees ourselves out of our pocket the day that we left and the day that we returned home.